This is Asuncion, Paraguay. Nomads have been moving here for years for low taxes and easy residence and citizenship. And today, I'm on assignment to show you the business side of Paraguay. From real estate to startups, we're showing you how you can make money here in Asuncion. And I'm going to be meeting with and interviewing 5 local business experts, from real estate agents and property developers to startup experts and so much more. We're talking about what makes them stay in Paraguay to do business and why they believe this country is the future of South America. This is Nomad Capitalist on assignment. All right, Paraguay. So I've been walking around. A lot of people are nomads. A lot of people like the digital nomad concept. What's the profile of someone who's living here in Paraguay?
So there is 2 types of people who are living here in Paraguay. First one, the people who do businesses and want to reduce their taxes. So they came here because if we compare taxes in Europe or in other part of the world, and in Paraguay it's very different, there is a gap. And the second type of people are the people who want a plan B, who are tired of the Europe and all of the things that is happening there. So they want a more chill life with more security. So they came here in Paraguay, and I think they found this freedom that we miss now in Europe.
This is a country that has been kind of the one reliably right-wing country in South America for decades. What does that say about the people here? Why is it always right-wing? Are they conservative? Is it more religious? What's the vibe?
It's a different vibe because there is not tourism in Paraguay.
It's not a big tourist place, yeah.
No, it's not. So that's why as well people are very kind, and it's not like other countries where sometimes there's a lot of foreigner.
People, they haven't gotten sick of everybody yet.
Yeah, and they get a bit tired of them sometimes.
Right.
It's happening. So here, I don't know if you realize, but Paraguayan people are very kind. That's the vibes. They're very chill. They take the time with you, even if you don't speak Spanish. They are like they're trying to help you as much as they can.
So, I mean, certainly there are some parts of the West now that are going back to this kind of right-wing populism, and they feel like, you know, it's comfortable in their country again. But for people who are frustrated with, let's call them progressive policies, this is a place that people are coming and getting away from that.
Exactly, 100%.
And it's not a matter of whether Trump gets in or Kamala gets in. It's just that's the culture.
That's the culture, exactly.
Right.
And it's not gonna change. It's like that since decades.
Can you live here safely, let's say, if you're gay?
Yeah, 100%.
That's not a problem.
That's not a problem. Asuncion is safe. The executive center is very safe. I was living in Brazil before coming to Paraguay, in Rio, so I can see the difference between...
Ask her, she got her phone stolen in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that's the point. For example, in Rio, I cannot wear watches, ring, nothing. It's not possible.
Yeah, Rio's worse than Sao Paulo.
Yeah. Here, no problem at all. I can wear everything. No one, even in the street, people don't come to you in the street asking you for money.
Right.
So it's pretty safe. Sure, there is some area that you need to be careful with. Historic center, there is few places that it's pretty catchy, but if you stay in the executive center...
I presume it's more of a family place, or is there a singles scene here? It's like, don't move here if you're single.
Yeah, kind of. There is a dating scene, yeah. There is a dating scene, 100%. Lots of people who are coming here single, they find someone. Because as I said, there is not a lot of tourists, so people who are going on the dating app, for example, when they see someone from the US, from France, from Germany, the girls are more like, oh, okay, it's
exotic.
Different, exotic.
People aren't over it yet.
Yeah.
What happened, by the way, just to going out and like talking to people in real life? Everyone's on a dating app now.
Yeah, so I can tell you an experience. Saturday I went out with some friends, and for example, we were sitting at a table, and the waiter came to us and said, oh, at this table there is 3 girls who want to talk with you. So if you want, you can just join them. And we are like, okay, that's never happened in Europe or in France.
Yeah, they're actively trying to get rid of you in Europe.
Yeah. So they are after you, you know?
I do feel like there's a great soft freedom, as I call it. No one's really going to bother you, unless you're trying to film at the Shopping del Sol Mall. Then they'll really bother you. But generally, people aren't going to bother you. Tell me more about that. But also, I do feel like it is kind of a rules-based order here. They like their rules.
Yes, there is rules. People need to follow it. But it's kind of not that much. I won't say that there is a lot of rules and things like that. In the banking system, yes, there is. But in other parts, it's pretty free.
My message to people would be, don't get too cocky. Like,
Yeah.
don't think just come to Paraguay 1 week a year and the world is yours. I mean, you have to live here to get citizenship. You have got to learn Spanish to get citizenship too.
No, not really.
Not really?
Not really.
There's no language test.
No.
You can get the great tax situation, but you know, like, don't think they're not going to find you
No, sure.
if you go and live wherever you're from.
Yeah, exactly. But even for people who want to set up their business here, it's nice. We have 10% tax on the revenue, 10% VAT, and 10% on the profit of your business.
Yeah.
So it's 10, 10, 10.
I would imagine a business like mine, where people are paying from all over the world, with the banking system being more difficult, probably hard.
Yeah.
But if you want to do something local or regional,
Yeah,
could be a
exactly.
good place to set
Yeah,
up.
100%.
All right, man. Good to see you.
Thanks.
All right. So as someone who's spent a lot of time in countries like Paraguay for over a dozen years, you do sacrifice some creature comforts if you choose to live here. And yet, we've talked about Shopping Del Sol, for example. You have a lot of international clothing brands. You have some of your cafes. You have some really nice local and regional restaurants. One of the things that you have in abundance here is barbecue and beef. That's part of the culture. They have beef from just around the corner. Barbecue is a really important tradition here. And so you are going to have some of those consumer conveniences, but you have to understand there will be some things that just aren't available. Amazon is not here. And so if you're coming from a major Western country where you're used to stuff being delivered next day, you're going to have to change. And yet, you're going to get lower taxes, you're going to get more of that soft freedom, you're going to be left alone. That may make up for it.
For me, Paraguay is a great country because you have a high quality life with low cost, and you have a different kind of food. It's really good. The meat, the
If you like meat, this is the place for you.
yes. If you like meat, is your place.
If you're a vegetarian, I think you're forbidden entry to the country. Is that true?
My girlfriend is vegetarian.
Oh, your girlfriend's so vegetarians are welcome.
It's veggie friendly.
Okay. You can. Do they do like veggie barbecues on the weekends?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Like put a eggplant or something on there? How long have you been building real estate?
I've been for 5 years in real estate development.
Right.
We finished 50 houses, and then we started with the first high-rise building.
So you built 50 single-family houses.
Yes.
Foreigners can own land here.
Every foreigner can buy a land, a flat, an office, whatever, because you have the same rights than Paraguayan people.
Even agricultural land,
Yeah.
I can buy. So I can buy a house with the land underneath if I want.
Exactly. We have more or less 50,000 units, new units in the
50,000 new units. Is that because there aren't as many regulations here?
Yeah.
The government is easy to deal with?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yes, it's really easy, and you have a really low taxes. A corporate, 10% of corporate taxes is one of the lowest in the world. We have a lot of international investors investing in Paraguay now.
But for you to get permission to build a house,
Yeah,
how long does that take with the government?
more or less between 3 and 6 months.
So I see right across the street from your office, there's a beautiful, very green looking, I don't know, 6 or 7 story building. And then right next to it, they're building like 20 stories?
21.
21.
Yes.
What is the average height of a building here?
It depends on the area. For example, here you can make what you want. The highest it doesn't matter because in this avenue you can build.
Okay. And so I can build whatever I want here, basically.
In the principal avenues of the neighborhood. For
Okay.
example, General Santos
Okay.
is this avenue. In General Santos or in España, Spain Avenue, you can make what you want.
If I want to build the tallest building in the world,
Exactly.
no problem.
No problem.
They'd probably like that.
But for example, if you go into 2 blocks,
Yeah.
you can't because it's a residential
And so you can have just houses or small buildings.
small building.
How small is
Only,
small?
8 floors.
Oh, okay. So this one right here is only
Yeah.
6 or 7.
For us, this is a small building
Yeah.
because we only make buildings with 20, 18, 25 floors.
It's not worth it doing less.
No.
Who are the buyers of these buildings that are going up now? Is it all Paraguayans who have more money? Is it a lot of foreign money?
We have 60% of foreign money.
Really?
We have 40% in Paraguayan people, and they are young people. Paraguay is a country with 70% with less than 40 years. And
70% of people are under 40. That's the average age in Europe is 40.
yeah,
And you're saying the vast majority of people here are under 40.
under 40.
It's one of the younger countries in South America.
Yes, and I think in the world because the average age is 27.
Okay, and the total population is like 6 or 7?
Yeah, it's more than 7 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So 40% of the people are Paraguayans, and what are they doing to afford a brand new apartment? Like, what is their job?
And they are young executive people, young couples, and they are entrepreneurs, and they are a lot of people in technology, in techs, in finance, and we have a lot of
They work at a bank, maybe.
bank, yes,
Yeah.
in the bank, in multinationals companies, and our principal international investors are from Europe, from Germany, from USA. We have a lot of investors from Spain, from Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, and Colombia.
Colombians, yeah, they have high taxes also. Everyone in South America should look at Paraguay as a base. They could always move to lower their taxes.
Yeah, and it's really stable.
This must be one of the most affordable property markets in the world. I mean, you can still buy property, maybe not your properties, but you can buy stuff for barely $1,000 a meter.
Yes, 1,400 is the average,
Okay.
and you can find, I don't know, between 1,300 and 2,500. It's depend on the quality and the location.
Your properties, is your strategy to build in the center locations, or are you building further out?
And we always choose a really good location. For example, Las Mercedes is thinking to be in the middle of the city between the new center and the old center.
So if you keep going out this way, it's
Exactly.
downtown, the presidential palace. What's it called? The not the pink house like in
Yeah.
Buenos Aires. What is it called here?
Palacio de Gobierno,
Okay.
government palace.
Okay, yeah. And nobody's living in El Centro, I think.
No.
Nobody's living in the Centro.
Yeah. The new centro is La Galería, Shopping del Sol, that part. And the old center is where you can find the government palace, etc. But the public offices are there. For that reason, is still be important to be close to.
For you as a builder, I mean, are materials pretty cheap here?
Yeah.
Like if I want to buy cement or if I want to buy wood, is that affordable? Because it's very expensive now in a lot of places.
No, now is a difficult, a hard moment in the prices, in the international prices. For example, now we can close a deal for that kind of material, but it's impossible because the suppliers are scared for the growing up of the prices in the world, and I don't know, it's difficult. The profit to the developer is not the biggest now.
It's getting worse for you as a
Yeah,
developer, right? But then you're also saying we built 50,000 units of housing for a country of 7 or 8 million people. That's a lot. So our price is going up here.
Yes, I think the prices of the rent will be low in the next 3 years, more or less.
Prices of rent will come down.
Yes.
Why?
We are putting into the market a lot of units, and that will make.
Yields will come down.
Yes.
Right now, what is a rental yield now?
Now you have a return on investment in between 8 and 12%. It's depend on the square meter, the price of the square meter that you bought. And for example, if you make a great deal and you bought I don't know, $1,200 in a good location, you will have a ROI of 10%.
What's the biggest reason to invest in real estate in Paraguay, in your opinion?
In my opinion, we don't have a big risk because, for example, the bank don't play a really big or a really important part in this game because
You're saying people are still saving and buying property.
exactly in Paraguay the flats are buying for people with their own
Cash.
Yes.
So unlike in the West, people drive it up with credit, cheap credit, and then it crashes.
Exactly.
Here it's instant.
That is impossible in Paraguay, for example.
I'm hearing they're doing more loans though, 10, 15-year loans. I'm saying that's becoming more popular.
Yeah, we make the business with the investor capital. We make a group, for example, and say, Juan, Pedro, and
Yeah.
Aníbal, yes, I will make this project. And are you in? Yes. Okay, you have the square meter in $1,000, and it's a really high profit for our investors.
Yeah.
In Spanish, we say inversores de plano. It's like paper investors.
Right. Yeah. Well, it sounds like a good business. Thanks, man. Good to see you. What we always tell you here at Nomad Capitalist is you want to pick the best part each country has to offer rather than going all in on one country. So Paraguay could be a place to have a residence permit, potentially to work towards citizenship. And the cool thing about that is you can get the residence permit. You don't have to live here. And anytime you want to start your 3 years towards citizenship, you can come. So you don't have to commit to work towards citizenship on day one. You can keep that in your back pocket. And 2 years from now, when you're tired of paying high taxes, you come and start your time to citizenship then. So it's very flexible. But what I think you should consider is this may not be the place to start your business. There's a flexible tax policy if your business is somewhere else. And so if you have a business like mine where you can run it anywhere in the world, you could incorporate in a zero tax jurisdiction, live here and take advantage of exemptions on foreign income, and potentially you'd have zero tax in your company, zero tax where you live. If you have local income, you'd pay tax on that at the 10%, but you could have a very, very low tax lifestyle. But I don't know that a Paraguayan company is where you want to move your consulting company or anything that does business internationally. Again, unless you're doing business just here in Paraguay or maybe regionally, this probably isn't the best place to start your company, but it can be a great place to live. And so I've always said South America, great place to live for the freedom, here for the taxes as well, but probably not the best place to start your business and move all your wealth. This is the kind of thing we do for our clients. If you go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, we'll help you cherry pick the best parts of each country to where you could have this as a back pocket residence. You could have this as your plan A residence, but you're going to have the stuff that isn't best suited for Paraguay put somewhere else. Go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply. We'll help you figure that out. And we're not just a company that specializes in Paraguay. We've got dozens and dozens and dozens of countries, from residence to citizenship to banking to asset protection. We do it all under one roof. How long have you been in Paraguay?
I've lived here permanently now since November of 2024.
So you've been here about 6 months.
Yeah, something like that, 7 months so.
And so what made you choose Paraguay?
Well, back in 2016, I was, towards the end of 2016, I was preparing to leave the military, leave the army. And as you recall, many of us do, it was a time with a lot of tension in the US with the election and a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I was kind of taken aback during that time because as an American growing up, you know, I always saw Americans as like, we're on the same team, you know, we might have disagreements about stuff, but we're still on the same team. We love each other, you know, whatever. But I didn't notice all this division and stuff like that growing up. Maybe it was always there. I've thought about it over the years, you know, maybe it was always there and I just didn't realize it. But it was very obvious to me at that point.
I think it's there because what I've always said is, I've thought this for 20 some years, when you push people's backs up against the wall, you expose their true character. I mean, for the longest time, you could live in the United States. You could have, 3 cars and a bedroom for every kid, and only one parent had to work. And you could go to Cancun in the winter and all this stuff. And now, I mean, life is tough. And I would say it's in part because there's so much competition from 100 countries like this, where people here are finally getting their shot. And now a guy like me saying, I'm not going to hire 100 Americans. Why would I do that? And get people who don't understand the world as much at a much higher price. I'm going to go over here. That's 100 fewer jobs. And that is a microcosm, I think, of it's tougher. And now it's like, oh, you see what happens when people's backs are up against the wall. They were always able to be that way, I think. Yeah. I would argue. So anyway, 8 years ago, you said, I don't want to live here anymore. And now you're in Paraguay?
Essentially, I was like, well, I just don't see myself living here long term. I don't see myself living here, having a family here, raising a family here, stuff like that. And in the Army, I had lived in other countries. I had traveled quite a bit at that point, and it had a large impact on my life. And so I started considering leaving the US permanently at that point. And I had, I kind of browsed the world, so to speak, and had different things I was filtering for. And that's when I discovered Paraguay.
I would imagine a better place to raise a family, as you said, right?
I think so, personally.
Yeah. Are people at each other's throats here the way they are in the US? Is that a thing?
No, not at all. The people here, I mean, you've probably heard this term before, but Paraguayans love to say it. They call it tranquillo culture. And basically that just means that they like things to stay calm, right? It's just very much part of their culture. The native Guarani were like that. That's one of the reasons why the Spanish were able to start colonizing Paraguay, is the Guarani were very friendly, very peaceful people and accepted the Spanish in. There's more history to it, but it's still very much a part of the culture. And Paraguayans are very proud of that culture, and they have a very strong national identity. They still speak Guarani here widely, and even mix it in with Spanish. They call it Chopara. Probably heard about that by now too. I mean, to put it in perspective, a few weeks ago, I was actually in a small car accident. I was in a Bolt ride-sharing app.
So were we coming over here, and our guy just ran into somebody.
Oh,
coming,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
It was fine.
Well, I'm glad you're...
off we went.
I'm glad you guys are safe. Holy cow. I was in this car, I was messaging a client, and all of a sudden, I'm like flying forward, and I smashed my legs into the chair in front of me. I'm trying to figure out, orient myself. My driver, he's just calm. He looks at the other car. I'm checking on the driver. Are you okay? He's like, yes, I'm okay. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, this guy cut us off, but he's totally calm. He gets out of the car, he goes, he talks to the other driver. They're both calm, and
does that mean things work more slowly here?
Yes.
Right. So you are going to have to. I mean, people go to Spain and they have that. Parts of Latin America have that. I'm in Bogota that's my base in this part of the world. It feels like it's not as much of a compromise. Do you think it's more of a compromise here in terms of kind of speed and efficiency of getting things done?
You bring up a really great point because I tell clients, I've talked to other people here, they say, oh, I don't like this about Paraguay, I don't like that about Paraguay. But it's you can see the con and only see the con, but there's potentially benefit with that con too. And in this specific situation, the tranquilo culture, yes, things can take longer. Maybe people tend to be late or something more frequently, things like this. But the reality is people aren't rushed. So let's say you're late for some reason and you're concerned. Maybe they're going to be angry. They're most likely not going to be angry, right? And
probably angry with ourselves, those of us who are used to running very strict.
I'm very much want to be on time. But if I'm late for someone else, I'm like, man, I can't believe this person's waiting on me, stuff. But here, people are more relaxed, right? Maybe you need to pay them something or whatever, but maybe you can't just in that moment, for
Pretty
people
chill.
here. Yeah, I mean, there's other ways to look at it, right? And you can expect people to be more relaxed here in general when you meet them, friendly. Maybe there is some kind of friction or whatever, but you can anticipate this person to be relaxed about it, whereas in the United States, that person might blow up on you. And it just might be a bad experience altogether.
There seems to be some creature comforts here. And I look at East and Southeast Asia as very high consumer cultures where you have malls, you have restaurants, you have everything that you need in, let's say, where I'm at in Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Bangkok, any of those places. South America has what those places don't. You have a path towards citizenship. You have a common language you can learn and speak across an entire region. You could have foreign ownership of land, which we'll get to in a moment. And, I mean, to your point, this is perhaps a much better defensive position if someone's worried about, World War III or the nuclear apocalypse or whatever else, because you have this agriculture, you have the water, you have a lot of built-in resources, and not that many people sharing them.
Paraguay is relatively insulated from that kind of stuff. Of course, it would affect Paraguay too, but why South America or Paraguay, for example, versus Southeast Asia? For me, I've traveled around parts of Southeast. I've lived in Asia for a good chunk of my life too, and the reality is, you always will feel like an outsider there, right? If you live there permanently. I mean, it's not to say people won't like you, right, or accept you and stuff, but full assimilation into a culture, I personally think is not achievable there.
I wonder if that's a good. I've summarized. If you don't feel like you belong anywhere,
Right.
perhaps acknowledging you don't belong, you just kind of go,
Yeah.
rather than running towards trying to be accepted, just kind of running away from it and floating above society.
That's an
It's
option.
probably more for that kind of person. Whereas
That's
if
an
you
option.
want to fit in,
Right.
you can come here and they will accept you.
For me, I plan to live here for my life, start a family, things like that. It would be good to really be a part of that culture.
Do you have, I don't see these people in Bogota, and I think I'm in Bogota because it's a little bit less of that than like Medellin,
Yeah.
just kind of Gringoville. But there's people in places like Colombia, places like Mexico, we're tired of the gringos coming, you're driving up our prices. That's not so much a thing here because there aren't so many people coming as I know.
No, it does happen, right? There's been a lot of Argentinian investors and Brazilian investors buying a lot of farmland, Argentinians buying a lot of, apartments and other land like that. But I don't sense that there is some sort of animosity per se to foreigners coming here and buying land or foreigners living here. I haven't heard really of expats here having a lot of issues with Paraguayans being angry with them just to be angry with them.
Real estate prices are going up almost everywhere in the world, but here in Paraguay, you can still find some of the most affordable real estate anywhere in the world. You can hear cranes and jackhammers. They're building stuff and property is cheap. We're going to talk to a real estate developer. They're going to tell us how you can get some of the most affordable property in the world here in Paraguay.
There's a lot of mosquito around here,
There's a lot of mosquitoes here. That's one thing I've noticed here in Paraguay.
because the climate here is a tropical climate, and it's a very rainy in this season.
They don't do fogging here.
No.
Yeah, Malaysia, everyone's doing fogging.
Ah,
like
really?
all the buildings, everybody's doing fogging once a month.
Ah, okay.
Knocks them right out.
No.
The good thing here is they're a little fatter and they're slower. So I'm just hitting there like I'm just nailing them. But I still have I'm covered in bites.
Yeah. You have to use insect repellent here.
Do you invest in any insect repellent businesses?
We
You need to add that to the portfolio. So you do startups, and your startups are here in Paraguay.
Yes.
All right.
Some of them.
Where are the other ones?
On Chile.
In
at
Chile.
or Colombia.
So Chile, I remember a dozen years ago, they had Startup Chile, where
Yes.
they would give people money to move there.
Yes.
Is that still a successful startup hub in South America, or less so now?
No, it's less.
They kind of got away from that.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
because of the left-wing president who's doing very badly in the polls?
I think that's the cause, because they are changing the policy.
So you have startups in Chile, Paraguay, and Colombia. Which is the best place to do business from the government perspective?
I think Colombia is a very nice country for startups. They are trying to start to increase the growth.
And so what about Paraguay?
Paraguay is like a new baby industry in startup, because there are it's very difficult here in Paraguay to fill the pipeline of new startups to be invest for international funds. But we are trying to motivate entrepreneurs here to become more and more attractive for these funds.
This feels to me, I always thought because of the tax policy, this kind of feels like the Georgia of South America. But another country I've spent 20 years studying is Cambodia. Cambodia, and now I guess now Bangladesh, but Cambodia has always had this big textile business where people bring, garment factories in.
Yes.
Is this the Cambodia of South America also with big textile business?
Yes, maybe the Cambodia because the huge industry in the maquila is the automotive for cables for Volkswagens, later for Toyota, and all to export again to Brazil.
So you're manufacturing cars here as well?
Yes, auto parts.
Auto parts.
Auto parts.
And then they go and they build Brazilian cars?
Brazilian cars.
Are there Brazilian car brands?
Brazilian cars and some Argentinian cars, but from brands from Toyota, Volkswagen, and maybe Nissan.
And so is this the most affordable place to hire in South America? Maybe Bolivia's right up there?
I think yes. It's a very low cost living here in Paraguay. Asuncion is a very cheap
it is.
City.
It is. I mean, just getting the Uber. The basic Uber is pretty rudimentary, but for $2 you can go somewhere in a comfortable Uber, $3.
Yeah.
Compared to Buenos Aires, where I just was, Sao Paulo, those places have gotten expensive.
Very expensive, or Chile.
Chile was always expensive.
Yeah. Very expensive.
Okay, and so you think most people here want to be employees. So what do you see when you invest in startups? Are you investing in foreigners who come here for the great environment, or are you finding the rare Paraguayans who want to start a business?
I think we are looking for the rare Paraguayans.
Okay.
They are young, and they are maybe sometimes they have a master degree in US or Europe, and they are want to grow Paraguay with the master degree.
So there's certain people that they do, because you don't see too many Paraguayans around the world. I mean, it's such a small population.
Because the population, we have 6 million people here living in Paraguay. It's a very tiny country.
Yeah.
It's a very tiny country.
So some small percentage of that, they're going to study in the U.S. or Europe as well, or more so the U.S.?
U.S., Europe, Brazil, and Argentina. That's the
Okay, Spain?
Spain or UK or Italy.
Do you see, we're going to be meeting with Clara Sosa later for drinks, talking about real estate here. She said, I wouldn't live anywhere other than Paraguay. She was telling me that. Do you think that's how a lot of people feel, that they want to go get educated somewhere else but bring those skills back? Or do you see people wanting to leave, like a brain drain?
No. I think people want to live here because we have a real nice living place with like social, and we have many family here in Paraguay. Paraguay is a different in like U.S. It's not a lonely country. People do not live alone here.
Big importance for family. I'm out walking yesterday on Sunday. It's barbecue time.
Yeah, barbecue time.
Everyone's barbecuing on the weekend
and
with the family.
Beer, yeah. You are very much in contact with friends and family, and that is very nice. I lived for 7 years in Chile, and I hate the Sundays in Chile because the Sundays I was alone in my department. And I knew that my family was here sharing a barbecue. I wasn't alone studying in Chile.
And so what are the conditions here? I mean, if I come in, I want to be a venture capitalist in Paraguay. Like, what is the average ticket? I imagine these are not multi-million-dollar investments you're making.
Yeah. No, the tickets are very, very, very low. Maybe $20,000.
So all the company needs is $20,000 to keep moving.
Maybe $100. Maybe
$100,000.
$100,000.
But these are not seven-figure tickets.
No. I think there are there are a few companies here in the whole economy who can value like more than $100 $100 million value the company.
Yeah, what are the biggest companies here? The banks?
Maybe the banks, companies related to soybean,
Okay.
soybean exports and soybean products, the fertilizations, and they are selling seeds for soybean.
Is agriculture a good business here? Do you fund
Yes,
that?
it's a huge business. It's for us, it's the first in the ranking of exportation. It's the first one.
Right. And do you see an opportunity with all this talk of tariffs now in the United States? Is there an opportunity? Because I know Brazil is selling dramatically more soybeans to China now. Is there an opportunity for Paraguay to be part of that?
Yes.
And I think China, is this the last country in South America that still is with Taiwan?
Yes, it's the last country.
It's a very right-wing, like kind of pro-US country. And so I presume there's not so much trade with China here. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Where are we selling the soybeans to?
We are selling to Argentina and Brazil, and they are.
And then they're reselling it.
Selling to.
Right, the old pass-through.
Yes, that's a bad news for Paraguay, but that's policy.
If someone just wants to come and make a small investment, are there smaller properties I can come with $50,000 to $100,000?
No, the small property is 4,000 hectare.
4,000 per hectare.
Yeah, 4,000, maybe 2,000.
2,000 to 4,000 per hectare if you're buying a small place.
And you can do agriculture over there.
Right.
You can do soybean or maybe cotton or other.
Is the spirit here that people are proud to work?
Yes.
People are happy to work? Like, are people angry about successful people here?
They are happy to be an employee.
Yeah.
That's why the Paraguayan love to work for the government.
But are they jealous people? Like, oh, why does this guy have money? We don't like him.
No. Maybe you can find someone is like jealous, but it's not common.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of history to this, but I would imagine that the reason that many South American countries go to the left wing is you have this great underclass of people who feels oppressed.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some truth to that in some cases, that they say, oh, we're going to vote in the guy who's going to give us a bunch of stuff. And this country hasn't done that.
No, like Chile.
Chile did? Well, now they're already upset with it, but yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, man. It's been a pleasure. Good luck with your startups. I've been telling you from day one, if you want to start a business on the cheap, you want to find a country like Paraguay where you can go and you can be one of the first movers. Years ago, Robinson Bake Shop opened and became one of the first cookie shops here in Asuncion. It's the kind of business you could become a millionaire on if you do it well. You can't do that in the US. We're going to go try out Robinson Bake Shop because who doesn't love fresh cookies? So you're seeing all the opportunities available to you here in Asuncion. I'm here in the up-and-coming destination of Asuncion, Paraguay, and I'm meeting with Miss Grand Clara Sosa here at Clandestino. It's a brand new restaurant that opened up just for us. They mix Paraguayan and international cuisine, and it's one of the hottest places in town right now. This feels like a slightly more advanced version of when I first went to Georgia many years ago. The low taxes, the government doesn't bother you, and property is very affordable.
Yes, we have a lot of new buildings, and everywhere you go here in Asuncion, you can see in every block we have a lot of growing in the area, and we have a lot of buildings. And we are growing so much, so in maybe 5-10 years, it's gonna be like crazy. It's gonna be very different from what it is now.
When did it start, all the skyscrapers?
It started like 6 years ago, and we are growing so fast. We have a lot of people coming from outside, from Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Argentina. They are investment here in Paraguay, and they like the people, the place, the weather. So I think it's a good place and time right now to invest in Paraguay.
They said the culture is tranquillo.
Tranquilo.
What is that? I mean, I know what tranquilo means, but what does that mean to Paraguayans?
It means like to be relaxed, to be calm, like to just chill, you know? You can see in the streets we are very calm people, relaxing people, so.
And safety is the theme I keep seeing. I was walking around the Centro yesterday, big police presence. They're everywhere. And it feels different than the Centro in a lot of other Latin American cities.
I mean, you can go walk in the morning, nighttime, and nothing's gonna happen to you. Also, we have security in every building. Almost every building have 24-hour private security.
And then you're paying for that as part of like the monthly fee.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's not too much. It's like, it depends on the meter squares of your apartment. It's like $1 per meter square.
Right. So if I've got a 100 square meter apartment, I pay $100 a month.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they handle security and water and all that.
Yeah, everything.
But they say you don't need it here.
No, it's just like they stay there, but never, I mean, we never have a problem, never happens something bad, luckily, but it's like part of our way to do the thing.
Do you see that Westerners are coming and living, or are they mostly coming just to invest?
I think from now, like just to invest, I think. But maybe that will change because, like I say, some people just come here like for a few days and they stay to live because they love Paraguay.
Do you like Airbnb more than traditional rental as an investor?
Personally, I like more traditional, I think, but it depends in every person. Like there's a lot of people who only choose Airbnb, and there's people who Airbnb is not even a choice. It's just traditional rent.
Can I get a tenant who is a local? Let's say I want a Paraguayan young couple, and he works at a bank and she's a teacher. I mean, can you find me that tenant?
Yes, I can find.
Is that better, do you think, to rent to locals, or is it better to rent to an expat?
I actually have both experience, and I think it's good in here. Like I never have a trouble even with Paraguayan people or outside people.
I'm guessing that there aren't so many rules about renting it out. Like in Europe, there's so many rules. How does it work with that?
I think it's because we are starting now and we are trying the market, and it's going to be changing. There is a lot of buildings who not allowed to use Airbnb, like for example. And in the first place, every building that you can, I mean, you buy an apartment and you can use it by Airbnb, and now that changed. And
Really?
Yeah.
There's buildings where the building is choosing not to do Airbnb.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot.
The law isn't, the government's not saying that.
It's not government. It's like you buy your apartment and there's like these, the owners, I mean,
Yes.
and then they choose in this building particularly, we're not gonna allow the Airbnb.
Which I lived in an Airbnb building once, not realizing that when I went in, and it was terrible actually.
Yeah.
Because if nobody cares about the building, there's a mess left around.
Exactly. So you have to, I mean, you can choose. You can buy an apartment in a place who is not allowed to do Airbnb, and maybe it's going to be more peaceful for you.
I feel like some of the developers now are saying we're going to build buildings that are designed for Airbnb. Like there's this one for $40,000 where it sounds like that's the goal, is Airbnb.
Yes, we have builders that are focused the products only for Airbnb, and they promote it this way so people can just choose, and all the rentability is like only prepared for Airbnb. They don't even tell you like how it is to rent traditionally.
How much more money can you make using Airbnb than traditional?
Can be double or triple.
Triple?
Yeah, can be triple. It depends of, like, we have a lot of football games in here in Paraguay that brings a lot of people from outside. So sometimes, not every day, but you can rent like a studio apartment, 39 meters square for like $5,000.
$5,000?
Yeah,
for
one night.
For a night?
One night.
For a football game?
Yeah. There maybe is going to be some damage in the building or maybe in your apartment, but you are going to win like $5,000 per night.
Yeah. So you've seen some of the opportunities and you've heard from people who are actually on the ground. That's how you learn this stuff. That's what Nomad Capitalist offers our clients. If you want our help to put together your bespoke and holistic plan, you go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply. Paraguay could be part of that, whether it's an investment, a residence permit, maybe you're working towards citizenship. Whether it's a plan A or a plan B, we can help you with that. We're going to keep sharing destinations. Clara's coming back for a special real estate tour. We're looking at properties all over Asuncion, so make sure you check that out. Clara's also coming back for a special mini episode of Live Like a King, where we're talking about living in Paraguay and the softer side of life here, so make sure you stick around for that too. We're going to stay on assignment in places all around the world so that you can go where you're treated best. Until next time.